This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
She's just a beautiful soul. She's a light in our family. She loved art and anime. She wanted to go to school in Toronto. And she just loved her so much.
Shock and devastation. 8 people shot and killed in a small BC town in one of Canada's worst mass shootings in history.
All of us are having some kind of feeling. Their feelings, their emotions, and feelings and emotions are signals. They're important to pay attention to.
A shared grief and making sense of the tragedy. A mental health expert has advice on talking to your kids. Plus, Adam finds out the story behind a viral video featuring a trio of dinosaurs at the Victoria Airport. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining with us. We begin with the tragedy in northern BC where the community of Tumbler Ridge is mourning after one of Canada's deadliest shootings. 9 people dead, including the shooter, the majority of the victims young students. CTV's Andrew Johnson is in Tumbler Ridge, a community of just 2,400 people.
A heartbreaking symbol of a tight-knit community in mourning.
This is a deeply distressing incident.
Shortly after 1:20 local time Tuesday, an alert was sent out to residents warning an active shooter may be in the community. The RCMP say they rushed to Tumbler Ridge Secondary School, where at least 25 people were found injured. 6 others, a 39-year-old female educator, 3 female 12-year-old students, and 2 male students ages 12 and 13 were found dead inside the school of just 160 students.
Families are just mourning in their own way. Everybody has their own way of expressing remorse and grief, and we give them their comfort zone.
Police say the suspect, who was found at the school dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, was 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, a resident of Tumbler Ridge. The suspect's 39-year-old mother, Jennifer Strang, and 11-year-old stepbrother, Emmett, were found dead at the suspect's home.
Well, we don't have an idea yet as to motive. And again, recognizing we're still less than 24 hours into this incident, it is something that we are certainly passionately pursuing, but it would be too early to speculate on motive.
Now, police gave an update today, and a picture of the shooter is starting to emerge. Police say 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, who was born a male, now identified as female, was not attending the school. Police had attended her home several times over the past few years to deal with mental health concerns. Officers say there are 2 active crime scenes they continue to investigate, the school and the family home. 2 firearms, a long gun and a modified handgun were recovered by officers.
I attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health. 2 firearms, a long gun and a modified handgun were recovered by responding officers. Determining the origin of these firearms and what role they played in the shootings remains a significant part of the active and ongoing investigation.
Police say guns had been seized from the shooter's home before, but the lawful owner of the firearms petitioned to have them returned, and they were. Police have not determined a motive at this time. Now, parents sent their children to school yesterday, not imagining the terrible fate that lay ahead.
She was just a beautiful soul. She's a light in our family. She loved art and anime. She wanted to go to school in Toronto. And she just loved her so much. She was thriving in high school. She never hurt her soul.
The family of murdered 12-year-old Kylie Smith spoke to CTV News. 2 other victims remain in hospital with life-threatening injuries, including a 12-year-old named Maya. People on Vancouver Island are sharing in the grief caused by the Tumbler Ridge shootings, and parents may be wondering about school safety and how to talk to their kids if they have questions. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, help is available.
A symbol of shared grief flies in the heart of Victoria. The BC Legislature's flag lowered to half-mast as the province and Canada honor those killed in Tumbler Ridge.
Parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers in Tumbler Ridge will wake up without someone they love. The nation mourns with you. Canada stands by you.
As more information about the mass shooting emerges, the Canadian Mental Health Association is reminding people strong emotional reactions are to be expected.
What's happened is traumatizing. People at a greater distance, perhaps people who've experienced similar losses in their lives, may be experiencing similar feelings that they had previously.
Johnny Morris says feelings of grief are still normal for those without a connection to Tumbler Ridge.
Thinking about the things we have in place around us that keep us safe, our relationships, our connections, our conversations, and talking about it can also be helpful for adults, caregivers who are impacted by what's happened.
Schools on Vancouver Island have also lowered their flags and are sharing resources with families. School districts in Nanaimo and Victoria say kids might have questions and parents can respond by limiting exposure to news and social media channels, listening so they first understand their child's concerns before offering an explanation, maintaining daily routines to provide a sense of stability, and encouraging empathy, which can help kids feel empowered as they find ways to express compassion.
These are rare occasions, rare incidents, correcting any misconceptions, and most importantly, reassuring that young person that they're safe and that there are people around them who can keep them safe. That's really, really important.
A pastor in Tumbler Ridge says counselors and other support people are flying into the community.
I know there's lots of good services happening, but I think the biggest thing is just to love people, to gather and to let them know you care. You don't need to talk, you don't need to give advice, you don't need to do any of those things. You just need to be with people that care.
As Tumbler Ridge residents hold each other close, service providers are ready to help people there and across the province. If you need support, you can call the BC Bereavement or National Crisis Lines. There are also services dedicated to young people, including Kids Help Phone and Foundry BC. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Tomorrow's throne speech at the legislature in Victoria has been postponed out of respect for Tumbler Ridge victims. House Leader Mike Farnworth announced that Thursday, February 12th, will be proclaimed a day of mourning in BC. The throne speech will be replaced by a moment of silence, after which a tribute to Tumbler Ridge will be read. The Premier has also announced he will be traveling to the town tonight. The power of a healthy smile is something a Victoria nonprofit says we shouldn't take for granted. This month, the Kool-Aid Society is reaching out for fundraising help to ensure some of our most vulnerable can keep smiling. CTV's Brendan Strain has more.
Jordan Soames has been coming to the Kool-Aid Society's nonprofit dental clinic for the past 4 years.
Today is just a cleaning, so it was pretty quick.
Jordan is now on the federal government's new Canadian Dental Care Plan, which was rolled out in its entirety in May of last year.
Before I had some coverage and I would have to pay whatever was over that.
He was always able to pay, yet others getting work done here don't always have the means to cover the bill.
We have 8,800 patients and only 400 have the new federal plan.
The clinic subsidizes those who can't pay because without this service, some may never be able to receive the dental care they so desperately need.
This is such an essential resource in this community. I could get emotional talking about it.
The clinic relies heavily on donations and has embarked on its Everyone Deserves to Smile campaign through the month of February.
There was a generous donor in this community who gave $50,000, and so the goal is to match that.
Currently, the nonprofit is $33,000 short of reaching its $100,000 goal.
We have a regular clinic where we have booked appointments every day, and then every morning we have people that are lined up outside. So people are coming from Up Island, people are coming from Salt Spring, and the Greater Victoria area because they don't have anywhere else to go.
The clinic's manager says 2 weeks ago, a woman made the trip from Courtenay because she had nowhere else to turn.
And she was a drop-in patient.
Thankfully, the clinic managed to squeeze her in, getting her the help she needed.
They really care. They really do.
The Canadian Dental Care Plan is for residents with an adjusted family net income of less than $90,000.
So that's actually one of our barriers, is that it's income-based. So people have to have their taxes done.
Many of the clinic's patients either don't have the capacity to file those taxes or need support in doing so, making them ineligible for the program.
Thank you so much.
The clinic needs your help to continue to provide the essential dental care to some of the region's most vulnerable, who are often without proper dental coverage or the ability to pay out of pocket. To make a donation, you can go to Kool-Aid's website. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
The latest snow survey and water supply report paints a bleak picture for Vancouver Island snowpack levels. The island's snowpack levels are only at 39% of normal for this time of year, and that's down 43% compared to February 1st of last year. The high-pressure ridge that came in mid-January started to melt the existing snowpack. On top of that, we had that atmospheric river event, which led to flooding. The warm and wet weather resulted in a 19% loss of snowpack levels since January 1st.
Any snow that we do have acts as just that extra buffer for later season water supply into rivers, creeks, and lakes. So the greater the snowpack, the better it is for the long term, but still so much depends upon the spring weather conditions.
The rest of BC is faring better. As of February 1st, the provincial snowpack is at a normal 96%. Parks Canada has banned dogs along a section of beach in the Pacific Rim National Park Reserve near Tofino due to a rise in interactions between humans and wolves. Starting today, dogs are prohibited on Wickaninnish Beach, highlighted in yellow, from Beach Access E to Sandhill Creek. The dog ban comes after Parks Canada recorded an increase in the local wolf population over the past year. That has led to an increase in interactions between wolves, dogs, and humans. People who don't comply with the ban could face a fine of up to $25,000 under the Canada National Parks Act.
It is a shared responsibility for everyone to respect closures and other restricted activities within a national park reserve. You know, ideally, we strive to approach this through compliance and education, and really fostering people to have that shared responsibility for keeping our areas wild.
Parks Canada will continue to monitor wolf activity in the area and can rescind or expand restrictions based on the situation. Still to come, no Canada House at the Olympics? No problem.
See us hanging out here, come on over and say hi. We're making friends, meeting people from all over the country.
How Canadians are finding each other and cheering on our athletes in Italy.
7 degrees right now after hitting a high of 9 earlier in the day today. Sunshine's going to go away. We'll see some increased cloud cover and some showers washing across the island tomorrow. All those details after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Well, Josh, the double-digit temperature streak is over.
Yeah, 9.2 for a daytime high today, Nafisa. We'll be in that 9 or 10 degree range. We may see 1 or 2 more double-digit days before the week is out. There's more rain in the forecast as well. And we were just talking earlier in the newscast about snowpack levels. There's actually a little bit of snow through higher elevations for inland areas over the course of the next couple of days. Not so much tonight. As this system works its way in, radar's not picking up any rain just yet, but we will start to see some showers through this evening and overnight tonight in northern parts of the island. This is about 4 a.m. There's your cloud cover increasing through the Victoria region, and then as the day goes on, this will slowly drop south across the island. So midday, early afternoon, Comox, Port Alberni, West Coast, you're going to see some showers. Nanaimo and Victoria, it'll hold off until later in the day, so late afternoon and into the evening would be the best chance to see some showers. And there are more showers in the forecast for parts of the island beyond Thursday as well. That includes in the north. Could see a few scattered showers on Friday. 9 degrees tomorrow, cooling off to a high of 5 for Friday. Sunny start to the weekend, but showers and periods of rain for Sunday and Monday. Inland areas looking at some late day showers tomorrow, high of 8. 7 and mostly cloudy on Friday. And then chance of a little rain snow mix there Saturday morning and again on Monday. So higher elevations. That should be some snow Saturday morning and maybe several centimeters of snow on Monday. We'll see how that plays out. Still 5 days away, so that is possibly changing. Periods of rain tomorrow. Heavy rain on the way for Friday out on the west coast. That's probably 20 to 40 millimeters worth of rain through the day, and it'll come down fairly steadily. Sunshine in the forecast, though, for Saturday, Sunday. In Comox, some showers tomorrow with a high of 8. Those showers will probably push in midday or early in the afternoon, and then periods of rain on Friday, especially through the afternoon and into Friday evening. Temperatures will drop back into the 5 or 6 degree range for Friday and the weekend. You get some sunshine on Saturday and then increasing clouds Sunday. In Nanaimo, chance of a late day shower, more like supper time and into the evening hours. 9 degrees with some sunny breaks ahead of that chance of showers. And then Friday night into early Saturday morning, you get a chance of a few more showers. Doesn't really look like this is going to amount to much more than maybe 5 to 10 millimeters worth of rain. A little bit of a cool down into early next week. Close to 10 tomorrow, but in the 5 degree range by Sunday, Monday. Highs of 9 or 10 in Victoria for tomorrow and Friday. Cloudy with a few sunny breaks tomorrow evening. Chance of a shower. Could see a few scattered showers on Friday. It's not going to be heavy, steady rain, though. And then sunshine comes back out for Saturday. And for most of Sunday, cloud cover will increase late in the day. Temperatures 7, 8 degree range. So that's pretty close to the seasonal average. Another chance of showers Monday of next week. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So it won't be a washout, Nafisa, in Victoria, but scattered showers over the next 2 days.
All right, thanks, Josh. An Olympic House is a space that brings together a team's athletes, their families, and fans at the Olympic Games. But this year, there is no Canada House. Instead, Canadians in Milan are rallying together to organize their own hangouts and viewing parties. CTV's Garrett Berry takes us to one of those watch parties.
A friendly invasion, a sea of red taking over this Milan sports bar and making it
Man, I feel like a woman.
The unofficial Canada HQ.
This is an amazing place. I've just got a whole new room full of friends here.
What started with a few WhatsApp messages and Facebook callouts has become an act of some international diplomacy on one of the world's biggest stages.
People see my Canadian flag on my lapel, only the best energy that's given back to me. I'm really proud to be Canadian.
The Canadians are filling the chairs.
We have a lot of Olympic tickets, but we wanted to do at least have one big Canadian game where we would be with a bunch of Canadian fans.
If you see us hanging out here, come on over and say hi. We're making friends, meeting people from all over the country.
They're flipping the channels over to hockey and explaining the rules to everyone around.
I've seen the sport before, but I've never understood it. I've been educated by Jason's, like offensive line and the blue line.
The Italian staff can't seem to get enough.
Love this place, Blues Canal, because we are like to building a place where people can just be themselves, bringing something from their country.
Gabriella told me that her new Canadian customers and friends are always trying to solve problems and really are just nice. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Milan.
Coming up, the Dino Brothers. Adam finds out how a pair of siblings were set to stage a Jurassic joke until things did not go according to plan. That's next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. You may have seen a viral video featuring a trio of dinosaurs greeting each other at the Victoria Airport. Adam has the story behind it on this Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Owen and his brother Ethan have a tale to tell that begins with a tail.
I saw a tail. I thought it was like somebody dressed in a costume, but then I noticed it was a T-Rex,
and then a couple years ago at this airport in Ontario, this happened.
I've seen Jurassic Park like tons.
So you knew what could happen?
Yeah.
Owen knew he could be eaten, so he ran away. Ethan, too, until they recognized something familiar about that dinosaur's roar.
Then I saw her face, so I knew it was my grandma.
Her daughter, Tabitha, wasn't surprised.
She's nuts. And in turn, that makes me nuts, and I let the kids be nuts as well.
Which is why Tabitha was so supportive when Ethan and Owen started plotting a reptilian retaliation.
We came up with a plan to scare her with our raptor costumes.
The brothers practiced their roars and headed to the arrivals lounge.
And we waited like tons to like come and hug her like scarily, and then
from behind the sliding doors, the Grandmasaurus emerged.
She just came holding a suitcase and coffee in a T-Rex outfit. The exact same one she scared me 2 years ago.
She got you again.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Grandma Cheryl says she felt surprised too, followed by pride.
Oh, okay. It runs in the family.
Now, Cheryl is indulging in some prehistoric playtime with her grandsons.
Life is short. Have fun. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Except when it's two rowdy raptors thinking.
I can't really tell you because she's literally right there.
But is there a plan?
Yes.
When it comes to Jurassic joking, in this family, there's no extinction in sight.
I'll get her next time.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, View Royal.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.